Good day, guys. Happy Friday, happy Friday. I hope everybody's waking up to a beautiful start to their weekend. I don't know what plans anybody's got, but we're gonna sit around. I don't know yet myself. We'll see how the day unfolds. I wanted to make a video about how my tragedy ended up more than likely saving my life, and possibly others. Yes, I'm a drinking and driving survivor. I was in an accident on my 26th birthday, and it left me paralyzed. It left me paralyzed, and my home burnt down while I was in a coma, due to some electrical issues or whatever the case be. So I lost everything, man. I lost everything, and the way I was living was insane. You know, I was on parole. I was in and out of prison. My choices and lifestyle were terrible, and ultimately I end up paying some serious repercussions. And it's a blessing that nobody else had to. Well, I can't say nobody else. My family went through this with me. I didn't injure anyone else in the accident, which is a comfort. I know that how I would have processed. I don't know how I'd have processed it if I had killed somebody, or I don't know that I would have been able to get past that. So I was in a wreck, and I was thrown from the driver's side window, and I broke my neck. I broke my back in two vertebrae on my back. I broke both shoulder blades, shattered one, broke one, broke one collarbone, three ribs, and my impact was so hard when I hit the ground it shut my kidney down. And this was on my birthday, and the crazy part is it was like within the hour of my birth. It was at 12 something, and I was born at 12 something. So that part's just insane. But I was reborn. I was reborn, and at that point, I still wasn't awake. I was reborn, but I was reborn into a new body that was shattered and broken, and that I had to look at with my old self and see if how much actually was taken down. And so, in that, I tried to stay numb. I used the accident to increase my ability to get more medicine, more stuff that can numb the condition I'm in. I was already doing it, whether it was for mental things or what. I was already doing that. I was trying to numb my existence. And then with the accident, it gave me the ability to, have pain pills. And pain pills became one of my crutches to life. Not just my accident, but it numbed me mentally from the things that hurt me inside. And so I just kept that blanket and stayed under it for a long time. And I even phrased that as my teddy bear. I always said it's my warm teddy bear when I got my oxys. That was perk perk, make the birds chirp shit. Just sick. And I rode that ride for a while, all the way up to where it got to Dilaudid. And it got to using them in ways that they aren't prescribed. And I got to this point where I know, even with my doctor, the doctors definitely played their part in what I've had to go through. They definitely fueled, helped. I had my part I played, and unfortunately the system, especially in the beginning of this pain pill and opiate epidemic, they were just handing them out. I know. They gave me a resident doctor, which are doctors that are there for 4 years, and then after that 4 years, they go up a level, so to say. So they were just switching me with a new resident, and by doing that, every time I got a new resident, I was able to uh, express my pain in a different way that would allow me to get them upped. And finally, after overdoses and all kinds of insanity, my doctor that I got now, they switched me to Dr. Maroka at SIU Family Practices in Springfield, Illinois. they switched me to her, and it's the same clinic that I've been with. But she said, Nathan, we're gonna cut you off. We're gonna cut you off. There's too many red flags, and I instantly got irate. I was at the doctor's office, and I didn't react to her. I I simply, rolled out of the room with an attitude and came home and literally thought that, oh well, I gotta switch a doctor. I gotta get a new doctor. And then even thoughts that I can't live without opiates. I literally thought, oh my god, I cannot face life without opiates, and contemplated, suicide an option. I don't feel that it ever was, but I'm just saying that that's where my thinking actually got to by the power of these drugs. And it's not good. It's not good at all. And doesn't mean that there's not people that need pain medication for all means. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's easily become lost, especially people that already have addictive issues that end up getting things that happen to them that give them access to things that aren't good. So finally, I actually overdosed the last time. My last overdose was in the hospital. They had me on a PICC line for IV antibiotic therapy, and they were giving me that, but they cut me off the opiates. They weren't going to give me them. So in the end, I ended up having somebody that I knew, a friend, bring me up some heroin. And I shot it into my PICC line and overdosed at the hospital. They had to give me a bunch of Narcan, and I woke up, and they put me in the nursing home. No joke nursing home, like big city nursing home. Well, Nathan Jones ain't never been in that. He made it, but shit was scary, man. Shit was scary, and it was the hardest overdose, and one of my hardest near-death experiences that I've had to come back from. It was one of the worst. And some things happened. I don't know what exactly happened that made me kind of like, really? I know my mother made a comment to me, and I know it was very helpful in being able to do something about what I was doing and where I was at. And she just said, well, your dog's sitting at home, and Sheba doesn't know where you went, and she just thinks you're never coming back every time you do this stuff. And she's just meaning in regards to my own behaviors that led me to the hospital, not the things like a urinary tract infection that puts me there, but my overdoses or tearing my foot off. I have no toes on my right foot from tearing them off going down the road looking for cops, and then coming home and thinking I'm gonna clean them up, and shit gets infected and they have to amputate because I got gangrene. So I have no toes on my right foot, but that was from a meth-induced psychosis. So there's all kinds of just drugs are terrible. So this overdose happened, and my mother made the comments about my dog, and it made me finally decide, okay, I love my animals. That's how we're raised, and in my family, we are really close to animals. We love our animals, and even if a condition, whatever it be, I've always had the ability to just get down there and connect and just love the shit out of my animals. So the overdose happened, and my mom making that comment. I got back into therapy. I have a great team over there that works with me, and I got sober. I had an experience with plant medicines, which are deemed a drug. But after I feel like that God took my head and literally just twisted it, so I seen something different, and now I can't see it back the way it was. And it's not a bad thing; it's a very good thing. The power of some of these medicines and some of these substances that are now coming out to the psychological or the psychology, therapy and all that stuff. It's amazing. It's amazing, and I know my mental health team is on board with my aspect and my part of what I'm doing at home, and 100% they're with me. But how my accident ended up saving me. It left me paralyzed from my chest level down. My apartment burnt down. I ended up getting a divorce. Drugs became, how could that possibly lead to something good, right? Well, two reasons. One, it took me off the road. That's insane. I had no business on the road or jeopardizing other people's safety and life just due to because I want to go out and have a good time, or I want to go out and just fuck. No, that's not acceptable. And God stopped me. The universe said, "Bro, no, sit down." It didn't take my life, left me in my arms, but said, "Sit down. You are not acting right." So I got sat down and I stayed numb, all that. But over 18 years now, I've been paralyzed. If I wouldn't have got sat down, how many more times would I have been in that car? How many more times would I have been in a business or doing shit to go back to prison? So two things would have happened. One, I would have died and or killed other people. Two, I would have ended up back in prison, and I was on parole. I'd already been to prison 3 times, and I was leaving a scene from where I was doing something that I got to prison the other 2 times. So the cop was following us. I got in the wreck, and the cop said he's got enough to worry about because of the severity of the wreck. But if I wouldn't have wrecked, he would have caught me. I would have got revoked. I would have got new charges, and I would have went to prison for a long time. And then what would have happened in there? I don't know. I survived 3 bits, but it doesn't matter. That would have put me in another situation that's just really not what I needed. So God set me down. He took my body, said no, and it took me off the road, and it also saved me from, being able to do some of the impulsive things that I probably would have done, and it slowed me down enough to help me get to this age and this point in life where the ability to reflect and see the things that I can gain wisdom from it, and I can learn. And even where my impulsive reactions and my things that I do are always at risk, by controlling my environment, by controlling my interactions, people, place, and things. It's a great tool. So, and yes, I am working with some of these antisocial traits, and I'm pushing through the discomfort to change them, because that's my ability to do. I have that ability, and reaction is a choice. So, being that I can accept that a lot of my patterns and programs that initially kick as a defense or in a moment of whatever, they are always going to be a little bit off. So I have to have a little bit of a buffer zone to where I can intellectually see the situation and know better than I feel. And that's tricky, because usually you want to feel versus what you think. But that is kind of backwards on that one, where you have to be able to think through the distortions, cognitive distortions, or the limiting beliefs, these thought processes that go through our minds that aren't reality. I mean, what we think, just because we think something doesn't mean it's real. We can think all kinds of crazy stuff. Just because you think it doesn't mean it's real. And that's that little voice in the back of your head that's negative, or that makes you question your confidence or your ability to do something. That little voice right there. Everything you hear isn't real. Well, that's how my accident saved me, and probably a lot of other people, and it helped me get to the point now to where I got to experience. I am experiencing something that I think the whole world needs. Not just people with mental disorders, but anybody that has the desire to self-inquire and want to go deep inside and have a therapeutic session with plant medicines, or they should be able to, man. But I'm not here to promote all that. I just know what saved me. A squirrel. Thank you, Amy. I love y'all, man, and we're gonna get through this. And I'm gonna make some videos, and any of y'all want to follow along with my lifestyle changes and my condition with the colostomy and where it's gonna go. I welcome you, and I thank anybody that does like, support, subscribe to me. Has been a great tool, and I've kind of let it go slack. And I've done a few of these videos where I say I'm sorry for that. It's just I struggle, man. I struggle sometimes with the motivation to do some of the things that are my passion, and that's the ego. And that's what I'm saying. You can't do it. You're gonna fail. Nobody's gonna listen to you. Nobody wants to hear what you gotta say. That's my little monkey, and he's got a typewriter, and his name's Fred. Tip from Eckhart Tolle is to take that little voice that's in your head. Once you gain awareness of it, give it an identity. Give it an identity, whether that's a monkey or your little friend up there that's a cat or whatever you want to term it. By giving it an identity, it helps to create the separation between you and the thoughts. And then, as Alan Watts, great, become the watcher. You have to watch what you're thinking and realize that you're the awareness behind the thoughts that are happening, and the thoughts that are happening aren't necessarily reality. Hey, this is getting long, and anybody that's listened to this point, you're awesome, and I hope the universe blesses you with a great weekend, and we're going to get this shit. Peace out, man. I love you guys. Thank you a lot.